I'm Nancy Cavey, National ERISA and IDI Disability Attorney. Welcome to Winning Isn't Easy. Before we get started, I've got to give you a legal disclaimer. The Florida Bar Association says I have to tell you that this podcast is not legal advice. So I've said that. Nothing is ever going to prevent me from giving you an easy to understand overview of the disability insurance world, the games that disability carriers play, and what you need to know to get the disability benefits you deserve. So off we go. Now, getting your short or long-term disability benefits for COVID and long COVID isn't always easy, particularly since there are a number of reasons that disability carriers or plans will commonly use to deny or terminate benefits. I've discussed that in our recent podcast episode, an update on long COVID long-term disability claims. In that episode, I promised that I would discuss long COVID and Social Security disability residual functional forms and how they can help you win your ERISA disability claim. That's what we're going to discuss today. Now, the disability carrier plan is going to require that your physician complete forms called attending physician statement forms to address your functional, physical, cognitive, and psychiatric restrictions. You have gotten those forms and you wonder why they're asking the dumb questions that they ask on this generic form, because they aren't asking the right questions about your long COVID, your other system-based impairments, whether or not you've had a pre-existing condition that's been aggravated or accelerated by the long COVID, or whether you've got some new medical conditions that are linked to COVID. They just don't ask the right questions. Well, the short answer is that they don't want to ask the right questions because they don't want to know the right answers. And they want to use your physician's responses to their non-generic questions as a reason to deny or terminate benefits. Generic questions are just vague questions that aren't tailored to your particular situation. And I know that sounds strange, but that's the game they play. So the APS form is a game, and the sooner you know that, the sooner you can protect yourself as you apply for your benefits, stay on claim, or fight a wrongful termination. So I'm going to talk about 4 things in this episode. 1 is the role of your physician in the long haul or COVID type situation. 2, the role your physician plays in determining your post-COVID functional status. Number 3, why you should use the long COVID Social Security disability residual functional capacity forms in your short or long-term disability claim. And lastly, why you want to supplement that long COVID Social Security disability residual functional capacity form and use that to enhance the APS form. Okay? Now, before we get started, I'd like you to go to Cavey Law's COVID long-term disability page. You can download there the long COVID Social Security disability residual functional capacity form. And as we talk, you can follow along and get a sense of why I think this is a very important form to use. Okay? We'll take a break while you go get that form.
Have you been robbed of your peace of mind by your disability insurance carrier? You owe it to yourself to get a copy of Robbed of Your Peace of Mind, which provides you with everything you need to know about the long-term disability claims process. Request your free copy of the book at caveylaw.com today.
Welcome back to Winning Isn't Easy. Let's talk about the role your physician plays in your long haul or COVID claim. I'll be frank. Your medical records can make or break your long COVID claim. And as a result, it really is important that your physician be a great historian and that you be a great historian documenting the onset of your symptoms, the progression of your symptoms, the treatment you're getting and the response to the treatment, and your functionality. Number 2, your doctor should be documenting the objective testing and exam findings that confirm the diagnosis of long COVID. But just as important, if not more important, they should be documenting the objective testing and findings that address either an aggravation of your pre-existing condition, your post-long COVID hauler symptoms by body system, and any new medical conditions that you have developed as a sequela of COVID. Really, really crucial. Now, why? Your physician is going to be asked to comment on your functional, physical, cognitive, and psychological restrictions. That sounds easy, but it's not, because the starting point, in my view, is the definition in your policy or plan of occupation own occupation, any occupation, material and substantial duties of the occupation, so that you understand and your doctor understands what it is you have to prove. You didn't insure your job, you insured your occupation, as that term is defined by your policy or plan. So you need to get that policy or plan out and ask, okay, what's the definition of disability? What's the definition of your occupation? What's the definition of any occupation? Are there any definitions of subjective medical conditions? Are there any situations in which that policy lists COVID or symptoms as subjective medical conditions that limit benefits to just 2 years? Is there a definition issue with mental nervous conditions? And if so, are the benefits limited to just 2 years if your disability is caused or contributed to by mental issues that we see in COVID, like depression or anxiety or post-traumatic stress disorder? All of this is important that you understand before you stop work and apply for benefits, or certainly when you're dealing with a claim denial or termination. And your physician needs to understand that, because their opinion is going to matter in your disability claim. Got it? So in the next segment, I'm going to talk about that actual role of your physician in determining your post-COVID functional status.